Welcome back to the channel, and this does seem strange. I mentioned a few weeks back that I'm on the point of retiring. Well, that has now nearly happened. I've just got a couple of little jobs that I need to do, and then that's it, finished. So this today seems very unusual because it's the second time this week that I've been in the workshop. Now, I've still got the main project to do, that's fine, but I think I'm going to take advantage of this extra time to get other jobs done. That's the pet project. There are other projects that need to be done for the house. So I think what I'm going to be doing is carrying on with the story of my workshop journey with the main project as normal, one video a week. But what I thought I'd do with this extra is just create short videos highlighting these little projects that need to be done and put those out occasionally as extras. So let me know what you think, and always glad of your feedback and the way that you have given me support over these past three and a half years. That said, what's the first little project? Well, it's my wife wanting a new chopping board for the kitchen. We don't know how long we've had this, but over the years where the wood has been joined, those joints are now splitting, and not knowing exactly what's in the splits, the request is, can we have a new chopping board? So what I've got to do is decide what wood I'm going to be using. Oak it will not be. I know I have plenty of oak, but oak and steel don't mix. That's going to leave a lot of black marks on the board because of all the tannin that's in the wood. So first job, see what wood I've got. Wood selected. I've got a lot of oak. Well, you've seen me using that over the past couple of years. I've got a selection of walnut, that's up there. Plenty of oak, those are large blocks. I've got tons of sapele, and I have some beech. Now, one thing I do know is that for a chopping board in a kitchen, then I really need a close grain hardwood, which to a certain extent lets out sapele. Although it would look nice, it is more open grained than I would like. Cherry, yes, close grain, but because that's such a gorgeous wood, I want to keep that for furniture. So I still have some beech. I had quite a lot that I used for the router fence, and so I've still got some of that stock left, and that's the piece that I've selected. Now there's the original, and so what I thought, if I cut that down the middle, and then cut it across like that, then I've got two pieces that I can just join, maybe with a biscuit, yet to decide, and then that should be good to go. It'll be slightly thicker than this one, it'll be slightly wider, but that's going to be the most efficient use of the timber, I think. So that's what I'm going to do. First thing first, it will be cut it to length. Right, slight change of design. I showed my wife what I was thinking of and she says, don't bother. In that is the width that she will find ideal, but if I wanted, I could make her a spare, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to split that down the middle, and then she'll have two boards the same size. Now, what I thought I'd do as well is give it a little bit of shape. So split this down the middle and then see what I come up with. Now that is a lovely sawn piece of wood. I'm ever so happy with that. And oh, it's almost down the middle. So what I think I'm going to do now is just put that through the thicknesser, just by way of evening everything up. Then I can see about adding a little bit of a shape to both pieces. See what we come up with. Now here, in starting to put things away, I realise that I've come across another job that needs to be done in the workshop. Moving one of the trolleys, and I find that some of the casters have become detached. It's quite precarious to move. So that's going to be a case of repairing, because at least 2 of the casters have come totally detached and a third one is very precarious. So that's another job that's got to be done when I get round to it over the next week or so. Now here I've only just discovered that the microphone had given out, so everything from here on in there is no sound to it, but just deciding on a shape for the new chopping boards and being able to then cut things to sharp size. Now for cutting it, because it's going to be a long shallow cut, I don't really need to change the blade. I've stuck with the 3 teeth to the inch blade, and it will take shallow radiuses and just carefully cutting to the line, and then I'll be able to sand everything smooth later on in the project. I'm sticking with the belt sander here, really, because it's quick. It means I can take the corners out and really produce a very quick result. I've stuck with the 80 grit. I'm not bothering with anything finer because it is a cutting board when all said and done. So that's something that is nice and quick and gives quite a satisfactory outcome. Now I've decided to go for a round over, and this is a bit that I've had for literally years. It came with a router that I had many years ago. I think I've used it once in all these years and haven't a clue what diameter it is. I get a feeling it's a 12mm radius, but at least the guide bearing still works. And see how this pans out. I think you'll find that I take a couple of passes and the result is quite pleasing. Now here I've dispensed with the adjusting tool that came with the router, and I've managed to dig out a ratchet socket set, and that way I can adjust the router more quickly. But thanks ever so much for coming along with me. This project, it took about 3 hours altogether, and I found it ever so satisfying. But I'm going to carry on with the main project over on Saturdays, and I'll see what other time I've got during the week now that I've almost retired. So as I say, thanks for coming along with me, and I'll see you next time.